What up? Welcome to A2thaShow, episode 27, I believe. And we're joined by the Forgotten One. Or should we go with the real name, or do you want to go with Forgotten One? What are you feeling?
I like Forgotten One.
All right, perfect. I prefer everyone have a nickname. Y'all know me.
Yeah.
I think it's more fun that way.
Indeed.
Episode, I think 25 it was. We played a song of yours. So if anyone missed it, go back and listen to that episode with me and Skinny and check out the second song on the episode. You took quite a hiatus for making the music, but you were back. And it sounded like you didn't miss a step. You sounded like you stepped right back in the groove of things.
I appreciate everyone. Thanks for having it on and reaching out as always. All your support, like I mentioned, has been much appreciated. It's been fun, over the years, all the music we've made and the collabs and all that. Is definitely being away from music was one of the things I honestly miss the most, even though we are internet friends. We've never met in person still, right. Which is funny. And a lot of the people I've collaborated with, as you know, are all internet friends. But I missed those connections and just the fun as well. So
yeah, there's times I think it always happens with Arawati because he has like a Twitch streaming thing he does, and he'll mention something, and then I'm like, dude, you've never met me. And he's like, oh shit, yeah, we have never, but he like talks like we have met, I'm like,
it's
dude,
weird. It's weird times we're living in, but yeah, it is what it is.
Well, I used to make fun of my cousin Rusty. He's 3 to 4 years older than me, and he was addicted to Final Fantasy 11, which was like this MMO online video game, kind of World of Warcraft around the same time. And he like played the shit out of it, and he met these people online in his clan, and then they met each other in Vegas. And I thought he was insane. This was probably 2008. 2009, I was like, you're going to meet people from the internet? Where is it now? I mean, if I had the money and time, I totally would meet my internet friend. That's not weird at all. I talk to fucking people on the internet way more than I talk to people in real life, so it is a weird world we're in, but that's just how it is. That's how it is. So what are your music plans? You plan on like trying to work on a whole album, just a few songs,
I have no plans at this point, man. Honestly, like I mentioned to you on text, I've just been away from it for so long. Like, there's been days where I've worked on music and just kind of fucked around with it. But honestly, like the past year, it's been like hours, like a very small amount of hours that I've even like focused on music. So truly just step back from it. I've just been focused on other things, life stuff, work stuff, mainly just getting my money right is the main thing. So
that's a good goal. I wish I could do that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I feel like I have a history of kind of doing this. I've had a lot of times where I've just stepped away from music since I've been doing it for literally like a year. I've done it before. So it comes to certain things in my life, like I said, if it's finances or things like that, where I just need to put all my energy and all my time into that. And I kind of just need to dial in. So that's what I've done. And I have no plans at this moment. I've just been, I just put out that song. So that was the first official song. It was over a year, I believe. It was my last song before that. And so I don't think an album anytime soon. I do want to do, I definitely have like album ideas. Like I obviously like brainstorm, and even when I'm away from music, I still think about it. So I have some album ideas, but I have like 3 songs in the chamber since my last album that I've actually put out. So it would take a lot. And these days, I'm paying like $100 per mix. So I'm like,
oh yeah, fuck that.
I really want to,
I mean, fuck that. As in like, I understand when you're like, it's going to take a second to make that back.
Well, unfortunately, I'm a producer, so I can't mix myself. But the engineer I'm working with,
I'm not good at mixing.
Amazing.
I mean, I work with a shitty mixer of myself. I'm not the worst, but there's better.
I mean, you definitely do good with everything you put out, especially doing it on your own. But,
right. What I think helps me is it's all consistent song to song. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna hear one that's way different than the others. But I don't know if I'm actually that great at mixing.
Yes, that makes sense.
But I did. So you're talking about our songs the other day, maybe probably 2 months ago. Clouds came on. I just listened to like every song on Spotify I've ever liked, and then our song Clouds come on, and I forgot all about it. I was like, oh shit, this song is good. So
a song that comes on a lot for me with you and I is "Why," the "Why" song.
Oh yeah, that was good too.
That's also a really dope song. I think that's one of my like rap verses, one of my best rap verses. So I always liked that song. I don't know why it like came on. I think there was a year where I listened to it a lot, and I went back to like my 2023 top songs, and I would hear that one. But that was a fun song as well. And then I liked "Relax." "Relax" was from I think Internet Friends 3, if I'm
I think so. I
correct.
think you're right. Dude, all the internet
Yeah,
friends
yeah,
seem so long ago. Um, and it was like kind of my, not my hook or whatever, but I just thought it was a cool idea. People that don't know made all these beats, and then I asked internet friends to start a song, and then I would finish it. More or less was the gist of it all. And I made so many songs that aren't good. Like, it's not that they're not good. They're just like not my style, or not, things that I think necessarily hold up. But every once in a while, you'll hear one. You're like, oh, that shit was pretty good. Like we kind of killed it
well,
on that
yeah,
one.
those were tough projects, I would imagine, for you, just like you said, because you're dealing with so many different artists, so many different styles, and obviously they're all your beats. So I'm sure you kind of
Well,
had,
and I think honestly, which is so funny, I think it's a personality, like the emotional toll of it all was way bigger
yeah,
deal than the music. Like some people that are so good at rapping, they don't care at all. They're like, dude, mix whatever the fuck you want, I'm good. And then the people that like aren't good are like, no, I need a specific reverb on this one word, and they're like so demand. I'm like, dude, you're so far away, like you're or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, because you produced everything too. So those must have been hell projects, but
Yeah,
very, very
it was a
cool.
good
And
time.
I liked how people started trying to like knock off the idea. We had like other people dropping internet albums and shit, but you're definitely the creator of that. And that's like a legendary project, honestly. Like I know it's not popular, like as popular as we would like it to be, but those are legendary underground projects, I think. And
Yeah.
it was just fun having everybody.
But yeah, it was good times. So anyway, everyone go check
Mhm.
out our music. I try to get off
So
the
you haven't been
top.
doing
It's
that at
long.
all?
Do what?
You like stopped doing the internet friend stuff?
Yeah, I think now my focus was more. I made the ABCs album with Brad Surek, CJ Jones, and Southern Comfort. And that
Yeah,
really
I heard that.
started off as me and CJ. And then it was like, let's bring Brad in. And then CJ kind of disappeared. And we were like, well, we need Soko. And so like it kind of just became but it was good. And then after that, me and Soko made a collab album. And then me and Brad made a collab album. So I kind of focused more on like, if I'm gonna do a collab, I'll do it with one person, and we'll actually like try to have a theme to it or something. Was kind of the idea. But really, I just had so many beats, and I still do. I have so many that I want to make songs with, but like, there's only so much time. And
What have you dropped lately? Because I haven't like when I'm talking about music, like I barely even listen to music these
yeah,
days.
well,
Like
you
I listen
mentioned
to my
how like you
release
hadn't
radar.
seen the podcast on video in a while, so I can explain to you. I can get you caught up in maybe the last year. I did cancel the podcast last maybe September or something like that. No,
Oh,
October, whatever time it was. I don't really remember, to be honest, the timing of it, but we canceled it at the end of last year, maybe it was just the end of the year. But I took like a 9-month break or so, not doing the
wow.
podcast. And then I was like trying to be normal, and I just played so many video games and watched TV, and just became a complete fucking bum. All my life, I'm gonna make a video game and I'm gonna get my life on track. None of that happened. I just became fucking a worse human being. And then whenever I started it back up,
Isn't that a bitch?
I'm only doing like these hour and a half episodes a week. And I used to do like 4-hour episodes. And you would think like, oh, I must have so much time now. But no, it feels like this takes up all my time, and I'm doing so much less. And I don't know what I've done. But like, I used to really knock a lot of shit out back when I was doing 4 hours of podcasts a week plus like 12 beats. And I was like, how did I do so much shit? It's crazy. So now
You were doing a lot, dude.
I forced myself to make maybe 3 to 5 beats a week, but the ones I made this week fucking suck. I'm like, God damn, like, so they're not all wins, but I like don't want to get too rusty. And a
Well, it's
big
very
part of
interesting
this,
how like when you're in that groove and in that flow and you're just doing what you do, like you can really, really be productive. But when you get those breaks, it's hard to stay like motivated. And I've noticed that even just like in work, like if I'll just take a little bit of time off, I'll do this and that. Like you're like, okay, I'll use this time to be productive. I'll use this time to do this, this, and this. It is very hard to like stay motivated during those times. So like what I've found for myself, just talking about like work, is like if I just stay disciplined and stay to what I'm committed to doing, I can just go with it and I can go nonstop. But if I try to take breaks and do other shit, like it can really get me off track. It's pretty crazy.
right?
I don't understand it.
Well, one thing that kind of threw me off, I got a new computer and computer desk on, which is great. That's like most setups a little different here. But I moved my keyboard where it's just out of reach. Like I have to lean over here to touch the keyboard. And so that makes me like never want to use it. And so
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm going to pull a sample up. I'm going to chop a sample. It's like all my beat making has changed completely because this keyboard is 1 foot too far away.
Have you read Atomic Habits?
I have not. Sounds
Okay,
fun.
that's like a main theme is like the positive, good things you want to do, the more convenient you can make them, it's so much easier. And the harder thing, so for example, like junk food. So if I have junk food in my house, I don't want to eat it, I'll keep it like way, way out of sight. And it helps so much to stay away from it as opposed to if it's like sitting right there in front of the
See, I just have to not buy it. For me,
Yeah,
and
no,
that
that's the
I
best
can't,
thing to do.
like,
But
I am
kids and shit,
addicted to Bluebell ice cream cookie 2-step. Okay.
You got to put them away. Where
It's
you
the
can't see
greatest
it.
ice cream flavor that's ever existed. And I will
What
buy
is
this. It's the Bluebell's cookie 2-step. They
Two-step,
basically
okay, I'll
took
have
a
to try that.
cookies and cream and a chocolate chip cookie dough and just made it into one ice cream. So
That
you like
sounds
take a
fire.
bite and it's like chocolate chip, cookie dough, and then an Oreo, and it's delicious.
I've been huge on. I cut out sugar this past year, and so I've been really big on just sugar-free almost everything. So I've really like come to find that I actually
It's probably
like a lot of
good. Yeah, I think
shit.
sugar is killing us. I mean,
Yeah,
you're probably right
I
there.
think it's a silent killer, man. I've definitely felt a lot better since I've.
But yeah, so what I'm saying is, if
pretty
I
much
buy
everything.
one of those big old fucking buckets, I will eat it in a week. I'll just like grab
Oh,
it
yeah.
and I'll get a spoon. I'll just fucking eat a little bit every day. But if I just don't buy it, then I'm like, I feel like a second I'll like want it, and I'm like, well, I don't have it. So
That's the key. Half the shit that I want, or like just going back to the food, I just won't even buy it. Or if I keep it out of the house, I'm not gonna like get up. I'm not gonna drive to the store and go get it. So if it's like inconvenient, then that's how because willpower is bullshit for the most part. Like we all have willpower until it's sitting right in front of our face.
Right.
You know?
yeah.
But yeah.
I feel it. And then, catch up on the year. So I took off the podcast. I did put out 3 albums earlier this year. In general, my gist of how that went was I put out this one called Classy 2, which I do think is like some of my best modern work, if you will. You know, I like listen to it. I'm like, fuck, I'd murder this shit. Like, you know, like, it's rare that I think that, but like, yeah, I do. I'm like, the beats are so good. And I do think there's some good verses in here and stuff like that. And there's some fun hooks. And then me and Brad put out an album called Bros, Brain Rot Over Sanity, that had this whole like we're internet brain rot theme. Like we're the OG, like we were watching shit we shouldn't have been on the internet and it probably fucked us up. Sort of that's kind of like the gist of the album. And my production's a big part of it because I put a lot of samples off TikTok. I was like just ripping all kinds of shit to put in dialogue. And so that's fun. And then I put out an album called Retrograde, which was me re-spitting a bunch of verses that I did originally like in 2009. But I was like, I can just reuse all this stuff from when I was in college. And then I redid those. And then I'm like, I started getting so many compliments of how much better those were written that I kind of was like, well, fuck that. That's like old me. Don't tell me how good that. So I'm coming back around. I have about 6 or 7 songs done at the moment, just sitting on my computer for whatever I'm going to do next. And then I listen to those. I'm sure you go through some of this when because when songs are unreleased, they're so good. It's hard to understand. Like when you have a song that doesn't exist yet in the world and you're listening to, you're like, oh, I'm so fucking good. Like I got this, like you really feel yourself. And then as soon as it comes out and no one cares, you're like, ugh, you know, you like get hit with maybe I'm not the shit or whatever. But at the moment I'm listening to all these songs and I'm like, I got some fucking hits ready, you know, like that's where I'm at.
My problem is like before I release, I listen to it way too much. And then by the time it's released, I'm like, I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple, I guess I'm really critical on I want to be cool and not cringe, you know? And so like some of my songs, like you have to make some songs in a certain style because the beat demands it or whatever. And so like something like, God, I could have delivered that cooler, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so like I might like harp on that a little bit, but most people never even pick up on that part, you know.
That's such an artist thing. That's such an artist thing. We all do that, I feel like.
Yeah, so it's just a struggling artist, you know, but the podcast is cool. We got this, I think I have it down. This whole month of December has been call-ins and guests that I can get trying to, you know, but I have been doing a lot of solo episodes and they actually do pretty well. It used to be the old podcast. No one cared if I did a solo episode, but
how has that transition been for you? Because you never did that before, right?
Yeah, it's definitely harder. It's the biggest complaint I have is I get so thirsty because I'm just talking nonstop. Whereas in like, if someone else talks, I can like grab a drink. I get so thirsty that like by the end of it, I'm just like cotton mouthed out. I'm
like announcing a game, right?
Yeah, basically. And it is a lot of, not sure if you're familiar with the comedian Tim Dillon, but he does a solo podcast. And I think I do harness that when I talk like politics, because I'll just like, I'll just start ranting and saying shit, but I don't even really know what I'm saying in the moment. You know what I mean? It's just like all this shit in my head, and I'm just trying to be funny or like informative or whatever. I'm just trying to recall ADHD style.
So
and,
do you like doing them by yourself or with people better?
I think I've gotten to where it's a lot easier doing it by myself, which I used to never think. It was very nerve-wracking back in the day. You know, I'm like, God, no one cares, whatever. But in person, my setup now is really difficult. Me and Skinny, the last time we recorded, actually got it down audio-wise, but like our mics kept giving feedback and shit. And then with call-ins, we do have it down at the moment, but if my internet goes out at any time or whatever, you know, you might get all glitchy and then I'll feel bad. But in general, we got it all figured out. Call-ins are easier though, because I don't really play it. We just bullshit a little bit more, you know?
Right.
So, but anyway, let's play a song and then we'll come back and talk some sports, because I'll catch you up on some of my thoughts that I have written down here. And of course, I know you're a basketball player, so you like some of that shit. But the song we're gonna go with, which I did send you beforehand, so I know you got it there, is a song from our homie Sir Nasty, the motherfucker you. And the name of the song here,
Skinny right there, right?
Exactly, is Encouragement, and this is off of his new album called Dealing with My Problems. I plan on trying to talk to Soko next week. That is the plan, so I'll try to get some stuff cleared up. But this album was out on streaming services, and then it got pulled down, but it has always been available on Bandcamp. So you can go to Sir Nasty's Bandcamp and get this album. I've produced most of the songs on here, and therefore it is my new favorite Sir Nasty album. And also, I just think it's the best one so far, because he just keeps getting better. And anyway, Encouragement, Sir Nasty. Let's give it a listen.
1 2 1 2, mic check. 1 2 1 2, hear what I do. 1 2 1 2, mic check. 1 2 1 2, hear what I do. Praying in the shower, let the water run. Be careful with your life, you only get one. Broke into them people's house, it didn't make sense. They shot him in the back before he jumped the fence. Damn. They asked me how I feel, shit, I'm on the fence. Handcuffs, mug shots, and fingerprints. Protect your family, yeah, I feel them. I catch them young niggas in my yard, I'ma kill them. Red rum, murder man dance. I thank God he gave me another chance. Tomorrow ain't promised. I was the smallest nigga on the court like Isaiah Thomas. My nigga, you can make it, stop giving up. When them demons call you, stop picking up. You need friends around you that'll pick you up. Them little hoes around you, they don't give a fuck. I done met some women that ain't about shit. I see the world glorifying thought shit. And them bitches think they hot shit. Fast forward 10 years from now, they ain't got shit. Ain't no future with this bitch, I told her let's stop. Your boyfriend at your house playing Xbox. Nigga run up on me and get his chest popped. All eyes on me, God bless Pop. Rap about me, he getting roasted. Bitch, everything you eat, you gotta post it. Come on, social media. Come on. I broke her with this gritty bitch. Found out the new bitch greedier. Talking about she wanna be my sneaky link. What the fuck? I fucked the bitch and washed my dick in a sink. Nasty. I ain't lying, boy, I line them up. She only hit my line when she trying to fuck. We can spend time until the time is up. My youngin' wanna be Jason Gang, so I signed him up. Jason Gang. And this the gang he will shoot you for. Mask on, nigga looking like a luchador. What the fuck? 3600. Yeah, that where I'm from, boy, the drum hold 100. Yeah. Pull up at that light, we jump out and tell them run it. Yeah. Hit them with the mop and tell the ops who done it. Yeah. I put a bag on your bitch head, no bonnet. I put a bag on your bitch head, no bonnet. Come on, boy. Look, everything you do has consequences. I'm in the Airbnb with a bunch of bitches. I pop champagne and have lunch with bitches. Hoes hate me, fuck them butt munching bitches. I don't need your vote, bitch. It's Godzilla, Libra and goat shit. And this is some encouragement. Leave me alone before I bury shit. It's 30 in the clip, Chef Curry shit.
Sir Nasty. Telling them butt bunches what's up. I haven't heard a butt bunch reference in a long time. That's great.
Me either. I like it.
He had another good line in there. Oh, washing his dick in the sink. I thought that was very funny.
I missed that one.
I know there's been a couple like big arguments back in the old podcast. And one that I remember I said so like just, oh yeah, like you piss in the sink. And Snappy was so disgusted at me. Like, what do you mean you piss in the sink? I was like, you don't piss in the sink? Like sometimes you just piss in the sink. And he's like, that's disgusting. And it's just one of those moments where like, I don't think of myself as unhygienic or whatever. I'm like, but it's just right. I don't know. You just you put your penis in there and you piss in the sink sometimes.
I don't know if I don't think I pissed in my sink yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a laziness thing. It's like, well, I'm right here in the kitchen, and
I know
the bathroom's way in there.
About the house I'm in now. I don't think.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Yet, so maybe that will happen soon.
And then I mentioned this to my wife, and she was also like, "You're pissing in the quit pissing in the sink." And I'm like, "You shut up. You don't know." So, something very random before we get to sports, but I heard it on a podcast. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring this up next time I do a podcast. These people on a podcast were talking about how like their sleeping situation as far as like the clothes they wear. And one guy claimed he will just sleep in his jeans, which I was insane, of course. And then another person on this podcast claimed that they put on one shirt in the morning and they wear it all day and then sleep in that same shirt at night. And I was like, that's crazy. So for me, I wear athletic shorts or sweat shorts and no shirt. I mean, I'm sleeping. What the fuck y'all talking about? And so it's very simple for me, but I didn't realize people wore so many clothes when they were asleep. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't wear any clothes. Wear boxers to sleep. My kids will do that. Well, they'll wear their clothes and then wake up, wear them for a little bit, but not. See, my wife
will wear pajama pants, a sweater, but there's other times she wears like, I guess if she's cold, she will layer up. But to me, like, I generate so much heat that like, you strip it all down, you get in the covers. I don't know.
One thing, I also sleep in a hug sleep. I don't know if you've ever heard of those or seen those.
No, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I started sleeping in it like 2-3 years ago. I sleep in it every night. It's from Shark Tank. It was actually on Shark Tank. It's like a little, how to explain it? It's almost like a very thin sleeping bag, and it wraps your body up. So it kind of like mimics the times when you were in the womb, and like it's supposed to like naturally just help you sleep better. And it really does. It like cures my anxiety when I'm sleeping. I just go right out, and I've definitely slept a lot better since I had it. So I definitely recommend trying that out. Do you sleep pretty good?
No, I probably have sleep apnea, but I refuse to go to the doctor. I had sleep apnea as a baby, so that's why I'm like, I could probably still have it. But
interesting. Yeah.
So if I'm laying on my back, like, I don't know, like what happens, but somehow, the tonsils and the tongue fall backwards. And it's so like, I know I will snore or quit breathing. So I just do not sleep on my back. I sleep on my sides and I hug a pillow because my chiropractor was like, that keeps all your shit square. But I think that was some bullshit too. And, so now I'm addicted to sleeping on my side, but then I put my arm under the pillow and then my shoulder gets all tweaked and I wake up every morning. I'm like, God damn, my shoulders hurt so bad. And my shoulders are just too big. That's another thing. So like if I'm sleeping on my side, I need a fuckload of pillows. But then if I sleep on my back, all those fuckload of pillows got me up. Like, so I need to figure it out. I need like a hammock, I just need to go old school.
Right.
I need to figure something out. I also think I need a new bed. It's one of those things when I first met my wife, she used to not like my bed because it was so soft. I had like a fucking feather top and like the softest mattress, and it was all about being soft. But our mattress these days, it's very firm, and then there's times I'm like, I don't know which one's better. But
that's one of the things I love about being single again is I can just do everything my way. And I've become very, very comfortable with it. I'm like scared to get in a relationship. Like I need to have the right one because I'm just so set in my ways now, dude.
What's happened to me lately, I mean, the last however long, and this has to do with every friend I've ever had in real life. So this also includes my wife. When people spend time around me, they just turn into me. So like Powwow, when we were in college, I just rubbed off on him, and a lot of like my things became his things. Skinny to some extent, we hang out more until like he picks up my opinions and my preferences and stuff. And my wife's the same way. Like she'll just kind of default or like think the same way as me. And I've gotten where I'm like, no, where's that like nice joyfulness you used to have? Why are you turning into me? Like I feel so bad that I've like
no, I fully agree. I think you really do become a lot like the people you're around. It's huge. And I literally just reading this book by Tony Robbins. I just started it, and that's one of his biggest messages is he says, take my word for it, you will become the people you are around. So I'm very picky these days. I'd rather be by myself.
And I hate to be this guy because I don't believe in the whole like alpha shit or whatever. But there is a part of me that's like, am I just that guy? Like, because I don't change necessarily when I
think you have a very strong personality.
Right. And I also have a way of like, I'm okay if we disagree.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it does not upset me if we think something different. And I actually think that's kind of cool and we can, talk about whatever. And I think a lot of people, they're like, they want to conform to like, we got to agree so that we're like friends or whatever. And I'm like, that's not that important to me. So
yeah, I've always felt the same way. Like, I really don't care that much about other people's opinions. Like, it's not going to affect me so much what you think, like I don't have to agree with it or whatever.
And it could change my mind. I'm willing to hear it. I'm not even like, I'm just not against it. Like, I've always liked to like get drunk or high and talk about stupid shit. That's great.
Strength. They say it's a very big strength to be able to listen to everything, but not necessarily agree with it. If you can just listen and like hear it out and still keep your own thoughts, then, you have that emotional intelligence to be able to do that. A lot of people don't do that. And I think that's because they think they're being influenced, and probably they are. But I think that's a sign of emotional intelligence.
Right,
so
like,
there you go.
There's all these streamers around now, and especially like the political world, they'll say some crazy shit. And I kind of watch a lot of them because I find them interesting, but I don't believe most of it. Right. But there are times I will like look at my wife and I'll go, this dude just made such a good point, but it's going to make everyone racist. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, he's like, this is horrible, but like, I can see it. You know what I mean? You're like, no. And before we get to sports, again, not to get too racial, but I do know that you are Jewish. You say on one of our songs, and since the last time I talked to you, I don't think there's a problem with Jewish people, but it is like the Israeli government's done some shit that's made people then like be like, what, you hate Jews? And I'm like, it's like, I just get curious from your perspective if you pay attention to it or care, like, or anything like that.
Well, to set the record straight, so it's not even technically. So my dad is Jewish, my mom is not.
Gotcha.
But so that makes me not Jewish. Like, if your mother has to be Jewish for you to technically.
Oh, I thought it was the other way. Interesting.
No, it's not. And my dad, he didn't really grow up like that. Like they.
Right. Well, some people are ethnically and some are culturally. Yeah.
Right. So I'm not really Jewish. But I just consider myself half Jewish.
Well, I would say you are, because someone like Roseanne Barr, she grew up like in Texas or wherever, and she didn't grow up going to like a fucking, a rabbi or whatever, but she was Jewish, I mean, like,
I consider myself half Jewish is what I say.
The song.
And I've never practiced like the religion or anything like that. Right. But I really don't pay attention much at all to politics these days. I kind of live in my own world, dude. Honestly, like, I'm barely on Twitter anymore. The only time, like, I'll check Twitter real quick just to see what's going on and then be off it. But I'm really just living in my own bubble. I'm just like creating the life that I want. And, I think there's some issues to that, but it gives me a lot of peace just kind of being away from all the bullshit and just doing what I want and living my life the way that I want. But I really stay out of the politics so much. But, obviously there's an extent to be educated and understand what's happening in the world. But
see, my problem with it is I legitimately find it entertaining, like wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, so I kind of I just want to watch and see what happens in the storylines. But then I also know, not to get emotionally invested because it's probably all bullshit, or whatever. Exactly. So you're like, it's probably all fake.
And I do like the funny thing is, like, when I do go on Twitter, one of the things that catches my attention when it comes to politics is just all the Trump shit. And I'm not a Trump fan, but I find him so fucking funny. Yeah. And then like all the craziness, it's hard not to, at least look at it and see it. But he gets me hooked. I know, like, so you haven't been on Twitter much, but you might have been there when the like Trump blew Bill Clinton stuff was really blowing up for about a week. And it was like every other meme was about Donald Trump blowing Bill Clinton, because apparently some Epstein emails came out and said Trump blew Bubba, and it's apparently someone else or whatever. And then people were like, "But it was Bill Clinton." And then the memes were so good. That. But what I loved about it from like my political take is it's like, very quickly that happened, and it was Democrat type people being like, haha, Trump's gay, which I'm like, well, I thought that we're fine with gays. Why are y'all making fun of this? And then the right side's like, it's okay if he is gay. And I'm like, no, come on. Y'all don't normally like that. Like, they just switched immediately. No matter what, right?
Yeah, so
honestly, the way I learn politics the most these days is South Park. So I'll just check out South Park, and then I'll like learn from that. I'll like, check it out. But have you been watching the new ones at all?
I watched the first 2 or 3. I don't think I watched all of them. They were good. And I have Paramount, so I need to get back to it. I just kind of forgot.
They're on Prime too.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Oh wait, no, maybe I think I have a subscription to Paramount, so I think I get it from Prime. So maybe it is Paramount. Yeah.
All right, some sports stuff, and then I'll let you out of here after we cover some sports. We like basketball. I'm a big fan. I know you played basketball back in the day, and you were also a fan. but there are the Spencer brothers. Now, white guys have really been popping off in sports the last couple of years, white guy summer or whatever. But the Spencer brothers are a fascinating story that I'm sure some people out there know about, but they apparently were the greatest lacrosse players of all time, or at least one of them was. He won the Heisman in lacrosse or whatever, and he was just dominant, but there's no professional lacrosse league. So then they were like, well, all right, let's go play basketball. And now they're both on an NBA roster. One plays for the Warriors and one plays for the Grizzlies. And the one that plays for the Warriors in particular lately has really been going off. He's like been stepping up, and he's like the new Steph Curry. And he's like hitting shit, being like, this is my house, just talking. And he's a white guy, right? But not a cool looking, like a normal looking white guy. And he's just talking all this shit. And you're like, how? So I've never met anyone that played lacrosse. They don't play lacrosse in this part of the world, the country or whatever. But I wouldn't assume it like translated, I don't know why, but I know plenty of football players that are good at basketball. And so I guess it's the same it's the same idea, but it's just very cool. I think about these brothers making the league, and now they're like, they didn't even this wasn't even their goal. You know what I mean? Originally. It's interesting.
Yeah, I had no idea about that. That's definitely intriguing. I'll have to check that out a little bit. I just have not been paying attention to the NBA that much, but that's insane. That reminds me of like the Paul brothers, transition to the boxing shit, same type of shit. But
right.
Man, I think it's just that confidence. When you have that like mindset and that confidence, you can do anything, So it sounds like they just have that belief. And do you watch what's it called? It's with that little white kid who's dominating this NBA, not an NBA league. It's the league before that the Thompson brothers were in. It's like Elite something.
Yeah, it's the G League. They're Elite Ignite or whatever. I know what you're talking about, but
it's not the G League. It's a different league. It's called like the Elite something. But there's this little white kid that like dominated the whole thing, and he started off really, really bad and did the same thing. But that's where the Thompson brothers, the dude on the Rockets, and then the other one came from. League, it's on.
I thought they did the G League, but I guess I'm sure you're right. Yeah, I'm sure they're right.
No, it's a different league. It's not the G League. Again, I can't remember the full name. It's Elite something, but it's dope. It's on Prime. You can check out the seasons, but it's like the same kind of concept where there's this one little white kid that started out. He's like 6 foot maybe, and started out like, these are really, really good basketball players. Like they're going to the NBA.
Right.
And he started out and he wasn't doing shit. And then the next year he just completely took over the league, started dominating. But what I've noticed like for him and just people like that is they just have that supreme confidence and that mindset of like, it's like SGA, like how he came up to start dominating. I just think you reach that level to where you have that standard. And that's something, again, with the Tony Robbins book that I've been reading is like, if you want to change your life, you change your standard. In the book, the Tony Robbins book, he interviews Michael Jordan, like when Michael Jordan was in his prime. And he said, Mike, what sets you apart from, all these other basketball players? And Michael Jordan's answer was, I have a higher standard for myself than anybody else does. And I think like once you get to that level, you really can do anything. And that seems like that's a testament of that. But that's crazy. I definitely want to check that out.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna tie all this white boy basketball players together. My favorite, I'm normally not like a LeBron fan, so therefore I'm not like much of a Lakers fan these days. But I love the Luka Austin Reeves white boy brothership. Now it's fun because it's, country white guy who actually played at OU in college, in Austin Reeves, and then Luka, who's a European white. But they have formed this bond where they just talk shit, but like in a fun, like in a way you would talk shit with your friend. You know what I mean? Like you can tell. I think you can tell they're actually friends. And so there's something very fun about watching their interaction. In like one game, one will go for 40, and the next game someone goes for 45, or I think it was.
Yeah, Austin Reeves is like another example. He kind of came up out of nowhere, like just those guys, like having that opportunity. Yeah. So I just have been in tune with that. But I saw him just exploding. I'm like, how the fuck does this happen? So to me, that's like a testament of once you get that chance, being ready, and just he went all out.
And then you mentioned Michael Jordan. There's this thing going on with Michael Jordan is suing NASCAR. And I just barely caught some of the story yesterday. And I was like, oh my God, that sounds so interesting. But basically Michael Jordan tried to get into NASCAR, and then whoever the fuck runs NASCAR, I'm not real familiar with NASCAR. They've been doing some shady shit. So Jordan sued him on some antitrust lawsuit thing with some other people. And he was like, I'm an outsider and I got the money to throw at it and I got nothing to lose. And he's like, people that were involved, they were kind of scared. They didn't want to go after it, but I'll do it. And I'm like, if Michael Jordan's last chapter is the man who changed NASCAR, it's like, what the fuck happened? It's crazy.
That is crazy. I had no idea about that.
Real North Carolina guy, I guess.
Isn't it true that NASCAR is the #1 sport like in the country?
I don't think so.
I heard that somewhere. I never knew if that's true. It didn't seem right, but
I mean, NFL by far. It depends against how you're rating it. Maybe like in-person revenue from beer sales or something. You know, maybe there is some like thing. But the NFL game, I mean, I don't even watch the NFL anymore. It's priced out poor fans. I mean, it is just for rich people, basically. And not even just going to stadiums, like at home. Do you want to watch the games? You will have to pay, you know, whatever thing. So it's kind of hard to like get into that. But I think it's like out of the top 100 viewed things of the year, NFL games are like 84 of the 100 top viewed live events. So like they are just, I mean, it's unreal how many people watch it. And it's boring as shit. There's like a million fucking commercial breaks. And it's just like, God damn, I don't know how people are so into it. And I guess it's because they get to drink and just shoot the shit and like they probably don't even really care or whatever. But to me, I
even struggle like watching an NBA game these days. My attention span is just so fucking short. Like I could just connect. It's very hard for me to just pay attention for a whole game.
Yeah, I make beats. I have on one screen, I got the game, and then I make beats while I'm watching basketball. And that's like kind of my go-to activity in the evenings if I'm not doing like a podcast or some shit. So yeah, but if I didn't, I would probably just fall asleep. That's really my issue lately. I'm turning into an old man. Anytime I fucking sit down on a recliner, I'm fucking falling asleep. I'm like, God damn.
Same. Yeah, I keep falling asleep. I was trying to watch a game last night. I was asleep by like 9:30. I'm like, I just can't do this.
Yeah, I think it was last week. I told my wife, I was like, I'm just going to bed. It was like not even 9 yet, and I was like, I can't fucking do it. I don't know what's going on.
I've been waking up at 5:30 every day. I go to sleep.
I do too.
Like 10:30.
I wake up at 5:30 every morning myself.
I used to be the complete opposite, like just hated waking up early, and now I just love the morning time. You know, just get shit done. And
my favorite,
definitely growing up.
I'd say my favorite part of the week is Saturday mornings when my wife is sleeping. Because my wife wakes up like at 4:30 every morning normally, and so on the weekend she'll sleep in, and then she'll be sleeping until like 8 or 9 o'clock, and I'll wake up at like 5 o'clock, and then I get like a few hours to just fucking do nothing, you know. That's very fun to me. But also, I'm real quiet. So this is a thing I know, you know, you're seeing at the moment, but something with couples. When my wife wakes up and I'm asleep, I feel like she's trying to like slam every door. You know what I mean? Like just really fucking making all the noise in the world.
That way a little bit.
But when I wake up before her, my goal is to make no noise. I want her to think I'm still asleep. Like I don't, you know what I mean? It's so opposite. Like we just treat it so differently. Where I'm like, or like if she goes to bed before me, I'm like, ooh, I'll sneak around. But she'll be like, she don't give a shit. You know, if she wakes me up.
Yeah, I mean that's tough waking up at 4:30. You know, but
yeah, I think that's what it is. She's like, no, you get that extra hour in the week. So.
Yep.
I get it. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you calling in. If you make more music, of course, send it over to us. We'd love to play it. And then we shout out Skinny. You do have a song with Skinny out there on the streaming services, so everyone go find that one. Keep on rocking.
Is that his first and last song? Or,
it is. I gave him a beat pack over 2 or 3 years ago. And I'm always asking him, hey, you ready to do something on that? And it just never happens. So I don't think it ever will. But I don't want to give his beats away to anyone else. You know, I told him those are his beats. And so we'll see what happens if it ever comes to fruition.
You know, it's not for everybody, but I respect him for jumping on that song. And he did a good job. You know, I still like that song.
Dude, honestly, making the verse with him was a good part of our friendship because he would come over with his friend Jeremy sometimes. They would like freestyle a little bit, but like I could never hear them. They were always real low about it. And but you know, a lot of people think they could make songs and stuff. And I think when Skinny got here with his little sheet of paper with what he wrote down, and he realized nothing lined up, and he didn't even fucking have enough words to reach. And I'll be like, bro, we got to redo this whole thing. And then like I helped him rewrite it, and then we went to go record it. He couldn't do it, so then I had to record it. Like, let me just do it and show you how to. You know what I mean? It was like very much like the Boys in the Hood scene on Straight Outta Compton. You know, like it was very much Skinny was like, It was like not what he thought or whatever, but we got it. It took a good hour of recording, and I'm like, try like this, and I was being like a real producer. And then we got the take you heard, and I was like, fuck it, that is good enough. Because trust me, that was the best take by a lot.
So maybe Skinny's like a easy E deep down. He just needs to keep working.
Yeah, maybe we ghost route a little bit and might let him record, and then we could put the beat over it, Dr. Dre style or something. But anyway, yeah, it was fun. So everyone go check out Keep on Rockin'. That's what I'm gonna say. But all right, man, appreciate you, and just keep in touch on all that shit, bro.
No doubt. Appreciate you having me. We'll be in touch. We'll figure out something here musically soon. Like I said, I'm working on that. I saw it with Sir Nasty, so definitely want to get you involved somewhere there if we can. Just got to figure it out.
I'm trying to make the motivational sports beats. That's what I'll try to focus on that. I know that's like
I've had this idea in my mind for like a couple years now. I want to make like a Jock Jams newer version.
Dude, I
like
love Jock Jams when I was a kid.
Me too, dude. Yeah. Me too. I want to make like an EP of just like those type of songs and just make like a 5-6 and see how it goes. And I was gonna get Thetikos to do it with me, and that just never really panned out. But it's still something I want to do. I just need the right thing. But I see you doing the beats for that. I just think we would have to figure it out. But it's something I still want to do, because
I believe I had Jock Jams Volume 2. I'd have to go double check it. I think it was like the lime green one, and it had Let Me Clear My Throat on it. And we like, let me clear my throat. And I was like, oh my God, I love that song. And so I love Jock Jams.
Yeah, they still have, like, you can go to Spotify and type in the playlist and they have all the songs.
Also had a Jock Rock.
I still listen to those in the gym and shit.
Which is rare, because I didn't love rock, but I had a Jock Rock album too.
Yeah. No, those songs were fire. So I want to do something like that. I think it'd be cool, and that's right up my alley. So we'll see.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you, and peace.
Appreciate you both.
All right, appreciate forgot one there. Now we're going to play a song. I know we're running late, but you know what? It's the holiday spirit. Goddamn it, we're in the given mood. We're going to play a song from our homie It's Your Boy H2. And when we get back from this song, the plan is we will have It's Your Boy H2 on the line. So we will see. But anyway, the name of the song is Cloth. It is off of his new album called Puppetry. And I listened to this album recently, and I was like, I don't think we've played this one last week. I'd have to go look, and I could go look, but I'm not. I'm just going to trust my gut. And the name of this song is Cloth. It's your boy H2. Let's give it a listen.
I would say we're traveling up and down the years, man. That's what you're hearing. Follow the strings.
I know this has been my calling, and for so long every song I'm mauling, beats I'm mauling, chomp till it sounds appalling. Huddle bees in a trap, and yet and still the buzz ain't stalling. Not a prime minister, just a rhyme finisher that has dementia, cause I don't remember the last time I lost anything except for the mind I'm carrying. Life gets scary and we all feel barely in the skin that's wearing thin, all in tears, tearing at the seams. Nobody has an ear but sharing them memes, the American dream, but all I can see is a bunch of fiends that gotta have technology. Jesus Christ, it's all a scheme. We get so much info that our mind's broken. The biggest lie's putting an eye in front of everything you got while it's clear we don't have our eyes open. Don't take me wrong, cause I'm just asking. When all those systems get to crashing and we resort back to striking matches or finding passion without attachments, can we? I was cut from the same cloth they used to wipe up the blood from the bars, cover up the laws, cause the lines they drawn just can't be crossed. I was cut from the same cloth they used to wipe up the blood from the bars, cover up the loss, cause the lines they drawn just can't be crossed. I can always be the same old, gotta aim for these lame-os, but it's hard to say no. Every chance I get to snap on these rappers like Thanos. Yep, dust them. I was made to kill anything that comes at me, so if you come at H, then don't trust them. Loyalty's not a luxury, it's a gotta have for any of my company, cause I function on will and gumption to thrill and run with 1,000,000 hunters to kill in front of 1,000,000 more. Just asking for it, how can you ignore it? I can burn this down where I stand right now, and as long as the chorus talk about rebuilding, I can leave buildings and go through cheap ceilings and still be looking forward. Cause I was cut from the same cloth they used to wipe up the blood from the bars. Cover up the loss, cause the lines they've drawn just can't be crossed. I was cut from the same cloth they used to wipe up the blood from the bars. Cover up the loss, cause the lines they've drawn just can't be crossed.
All right, joined by it's your boy H2.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Which we did just hear your song Cloth, which was one of my favorites off of the new project Puppetry.
For real? Hell yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I listened to it one day and I told, or not all of it straight through. I think you may have sent the songs to me, and I was like, these 2 or 3 I really like. So,
Right.
I think that was one of them, if I remember correctly.
Well, you know what's funny about that is, remember whenever I was first doing all the remixes,
Yeah.
and I was sending them to you, and that one that had that it had the Celine Dion sample in it.
Right.
Those were those verses.
Yeah, and I didn't like it because I didn't like the sample, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
you didn't like it because the sample and all that, it was crap. But like the version that you're hearing now on Cloth is all re-recorded.
Right. Nice.
So
Yeah, I was just talking to Forgotten One before you called in, and I was actually telling him about all the shit I've done this year because he hasn't paid attention to anything we've done. He's been like mentally checked out. And I was saying how my album Retrograde, it's all stuff I wrote in 2009 for the most part. And
hell yeah.
I liked respitting them. You know, I said, because I don't have to think about it. I know the verses so well that I'm not reading it, where most of my modern stuff I'm reading, honestly. That's what you're hearing. I don't memorize all my stuff or whatever. And so I think it made it kind of come across clear or whatever. But was that your experience with old verses? Like it was easier than a new one?
Yeah, when I did Better Than One, like those verses came off really well. Like that's Better Than One is pretty much that whole project. Most of all of it's re-records except for like maybe 2 or 3 songs.
Right.
So like, and then even with Puppetry is, I think the only the only original verses on Puppetry are the I'm Coming Back verses. And then everything else is all re-record.
Yeah. I kind of feel like cheating when I do it, but then also no one knows those songs anyway. And part of me, and I hate to be a person that eventually joins the AI revolution, but someday I'm like, I'm just going to take all the things I've wrote and I'll put it through the robot voice, but I have it be my lyrics and we'll get a fucking third round out of this shit. I don't, I mean, that's just the world it's going to be. I feel like you're going to have to do it. Maybe not. Maybe
yeah.
not.
I mean, we just keep taking stuff and it's the same way with like movies, the same way everything just keeps getting regurgitated, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like right now, like I was riding home and I was listening to, I don't know if you remember when the first Trillville album came out.
Was that when Some Cut dropped? Was that like the same time frame?
Yeah, that was Scrappy. You know, they just dropped this. I guess they just dropped it this week. The Trillville Little Scrappy 2.
Oh, nice.
Which is like, it was just like a 20-year, you know what I'm saying, anniversary type thing. Because I went to the store and bought that when it came out, the first one. And I don't know, something about Trillville I like fuck somebody up music. Like, so, and with Trillville, that's one of the things, like you can play that and it's like all the energy, you know, like I love that shit.
Yeah, I wish I could make music like that, but and again, I mentioned this for Word, like I'm so stuck in like what my persona is or whatever, you know what I mean? Where I'm like, but wouldn't it be cool if I made a Never Scared or whatever, you know, like whatever version of but you know, I never would because I'm like, well, I'm not gonna fight somebody. But back then, Bone Crusher probably wasn't either. He's as soft as fuck. If you ever see him in an interview, you know, but he sounded great on that song. So it is interesting.
You know, we just make certain songs for certain moments, you know, and it's like you kind of figure it out that way, which I mean, I've always kind of been really aggressive on the mic anyway. So like it's easy for me to do a song.
I think
like
I'm good at talking shit on the rap songs. Like that's some of my favorite lines, but also some of them like quit being like that. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm like judgmental of myself a little bit on that.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Something else I talked about with Forgotten One earlier, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask H2 as well. Cause I'd heard a podcast where people talk about like their sleeping scenarios as far as like the clothes they wear to sleep and shit.
I I mean, a lot of times I'm usually wearing like jogging pants or pajama pants and like a white beater, like a
Right.
something like that, like a tank top. I wear that. Like I feel like if I go to sleep without a shirt, a lot of times like that cold air will hit my chest, and I'll wake up the next morning and I'll be like sick.
Right.
So
I can
like,
see that. See, I mentioned this a little throughout, and I feel like we got off track. I'm just like a radiator of heat. Like I just produce heat. So one something that sticks out to me so much when I was in nerd camp. So for 3 years in high school, I went to this math and science camp in the summer. And one day a week, we would all go to the pool, and girls would be like, they were cold. They would stand next to me, and the water would be like noticeably warmer around my body. Like I just radiate heat like a crazy person. And so I do think that's part of why I can't wear it too. Like I'll wake up sweating now and nothing but shorts. I'll be like, God, get these fucking blankets off me. So
yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I overly dress when I
yeah,
go to sleep.
no, you sound normal. It sounds.
Sometimes if I like, if I got to be at work early in the morning, like sometimes I'll go to sleep in what I'm going to wear the next day. Like, because I mean, I just work in a distribution center or whatever. So it's just like a factory. So it's not anything, fancy or whatever. So I wear pretty much anything I want to there. So I can do jogging pants, I can do pajama pants, I can do whatever the hell I want to.
About a year ago, my job bought me like a week's worth of polo shirts to wear, with like an emblem or whatever. And I love it so much. I used to hate having to figure out what the fuck I'm wearing that day. You know what I mean? Because I don't work in a job where I could wear anything. It is like I'd have to wear like a polo or like a basic ass shirt that had nothing on it. But now I'm like, oh, I just wear my uniform basically. And I just grab that and I put it on, and I don't have to. It has taken so much like I have a lot of decision paralysis in life, and so it kind of eliminated some of that. And so I think I would have done well in a school with a uniform. I know people complain about that. I didn't have to go to school like that, but I was like, I think I probably could have done it. You don't have to think about it.
Man, I'm glad, because I think the last year that I was in high school was the last year we had it before they changed over to uniform. And I was so happy about that shit, because I was like, man, if I would have had to deal with the uniforms during that time, I probably would have lost my fucking mind.
Right. It depends what it is. If it was just like a normal, like a polo or a t-shirt or whatever it was, like just a top shirt. But yeah, if they were like also these particular pants, I probably would have freaked. I'm a little more particular about my pants, I guess.
Well,
and
I mean,
shoes,
we were
also like shoes. So
right, and we were like free range all those years, So
sure.
if you go all the way up to like senior year, and you're already in don't give a fuck mode, because
did you ever get sent home for a t-shirt or anything you wore?
Do what?
Had you ever been sent home for something you wore to school?
Yeah, I got in trouble for wearing a Marshall Mathers LP shirt.
Oh, really? What was on it? Like,
it had nothing on
just the cover.
It had Remember Me. It had Remember Me written on the back. It was a black shirt I got from Hot Topic. And it was on the front, it just had the Eminem, the name and it was like glowing green.
Right.
And then underneath it said the Marshall Mathers LP. And my gym teacher got pissed off.
That's crazy. Yeah, I brought it up because I got sent home once, and I lived about 7 blocks from school. So I just got sent home. I walked home and changed shirts and walked back. That's my punishment. But there's a place, it used to be really popular in Oklahoma. I feel like it's really died down. I don't know if it's in other states, but it's called Joe's Crab Shack. It was like a restaurant.
Yeah.
And
we got one of those in Memphis. Okay. I went there one time.
Awesome. Yeah. See, I wasn't sure how like far spread they went, but people loved it when I was in high school. And I'm not a big crab fan, so it was like whatever. But I went there with friends or something in high school, and I bought a T-shirt that had a chicken on it, and it said, "Don't be a pecker, eat at Joe's." And I wore that to school, and yeah, like a secretary or someone saw it, and they were like, "You cannot wear that." And I was like, "It's this chicken is a pecker. They peck. What are you talking?" Right. Like I was like being a little dick about it,
trying to break it down for them.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think you get it.
It's not as bad as you think it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny that you brought up Joe's Crab Shack. It's a funny connection thing, because my dad's name is Joe.
Does he cook crabs in a shack?
No, his family is out of Maryland. So like years ago, when we would have our family dinners every year for like Thanksgiving and Christmas, my grandmother would get actual crab meat imported, and then make crab cakes.
Nice. Yeah, I have had some good crab cakes in my life.
They're fire. They were fire, but no, I don't like actual crab where you have to like break legs.
Yeah, just
and all
out
that
of
shit. I don't wanna do
all the
it.
sea meat, or I guess you would call it seafood. I'm gonna call it sea meat. I like shrimp a lot. I think scallops are good. I think all that stuff's good, but crab's my
I love
least
oysters.
favorite of all of it. I don't know why.
I love oysters. That's probably my favorite.
Oh, I had my first real oyster, like raw oyster, a few weeks. Whenever I keep mentioning this work trip I went on recently on this podcast, and a guy took us out to a place in Austin. It's outside of Austin. That's supposed to be like the only place that has fresh seafood within this, however, far away or whatever. And so, yeah, a couple of us had never had oysters. And then a guy was like, oh, I'm buying everyone oysters so y'all could try it. And because I've watched so much like Gordon Ramsay and other Food Network type shows, I am aware of oysters the way you just like throw them down the hatch. You don't chew it. And then some people put this little ketchup looking ass shit on it. So that's what I did. I got the little red sauce and I put a little on it and I just threw it down the hatch. And for that half of a second, I tasted it. It wasn't bad. But also, I don't think I'd ever order them because you don't really eat them. You're just swallowing them. It's like a different thing. You know what I mean? You're not getting to enjoy it. There's not like you're chewing on them and like, oh, it's good. You're just swallowing them. This is on the half shell, I guess I would say.
Yeah, I have seen that's how they do it with like on the delicacy side of it. It's like a slurp or whatever.
Yeah.
Like in my the way I eat them, obviously, I just get them the canned ones, the smoked ones that are in the can.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'll get those and like
I've also seen fried ones before, of course. But
I'll put them in like ramen and mix them with my ramen noodles and stuff, and that's how.
Real white trash shit. I like that. I mean, it doesn't. I know it's so weird, but this is like
fancy trash.
Yeah, I just as someone who like my family is kind of white trashy. I think I grew up that way. I do think I'm in like my dad got a good job when I was like in 4th grade. And then after that, we had a little money, but that trashiness never really leaves, right? And you go to your family get-togethers, and all your family kind of still is, no offense to them, but like I am just familiar with that culture, and so like when I meet someone in the real world that is from that, you do just there is a weird kinship to it, like a fellow poor white.
Well, I mean, me and my mom, we hopped trailer parks and did all that shit, when I was really little, so like. Being around the white trash side of everything is just like, and then even then, like my stepdad, whenever she got with him and, they were together for like 12, 13 years, like he would buy us stuff, and he would have money, but then like we would still be, half-ass broke.
Right.
So it's like, it was never like we were rich or anything like that. You were talking about the school thing. That was the other thing I was going to say was like, I would get in trouble because I always wanted to wear baggy pants. And my stepdad always wanted me to wear tight fucking Wranglers.
Oh, dude, I was just talking about this last couple of weeks. So
I remember you talking about it.
Yeah, the American Eagle jeans are back being baggy and I'm fucking love it. I'm wearing a pair right now. And a lady I work with has a son who's bigger, a fat kid, as I would call him. I don't want to be mean, but that's just how I identify our kind. And I was talking about how I love American Eagle jeans. And when I was a kid, they always told me to wear fucking Wranglers and shit, and it would piss me off. And she was like, well, send me a link to those jeans. I'm going to try to get my kid some. So I'm like, I may have saved this kid's life getting him some cool fucking jeans. You know what I mean? Like, I hated wearing Wranglers when I was a kid. Or like they'd buy me cowboy boots. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not wearing this shit. I was like you.
I shit you not. I would go to school with the extra pair of pants. So like I get to school and go to the bathroom and change out so that I could wear my cool pants.
Right.
So I got the Wranglers ducked or whatever. And then one day I got home and my stepdad was like, "So you changed your pants, huh?" I'm like, "How do you know?" It's like, "Oh, one of my buddies drove by while you were doing outside."
Walk around your goddamn Jinkos.
Right, man. Fucking. Yeah, fucking me and my buddy, we played, we wore Lee pipes. Yeah, Lee pipes, Jinkos, all that shit, and then like, of course, we liked our shit baggy. And my stepdad hated that shit. He was, countrified or whatever. So
see, I got pretty eclectic in my dress. I wish I was like a cool scene alt kid or whatever, but I was like, my friends were all jocks. So I leaned, towards that, but also wore weird shit. Like I wore a lot of board shorts with flames on them, or like fucking Hawaiian print shit for like just to like be different. It's kind of more my vibes.
Right.
But I had a lot of fun looks, I feel like, when I was younger. And then I got to college and I was like, I'm boring as shit. I'm going to wear just fucking t-shirts and not give a shit about anything from now on. But that's how you go, I think. I think you age into that a little bit.
I wore my clothes, like a lot of my clothes were like really plain, besides like, some logos and stuff. Like I went through like the band tees phase, like it was around like freshman year or whatever, and I'm rocking like Disturbed shirts and shit like that. But and then out of high school, like I was just wearing like white tees and Dickie shorts. So like I was wearing that shit all the time.
Right.
And then I got a job at Rue 21 in 2007, and then my whole style had to change because we had to wear their clothes. So you had to buy their clothes.
That sucks too, because their shit be all fucked up sometimes. I used to go to Route 21.
Right.
It'd be like I bought so many long sleeve shirts, I'd put my arm out and one was like 3 inches shorter than the other. And you're like, God damn it.
Yeah. Well, and then like all that shit, like I had to stock a lot of those clothes in the back or whatever. So it was always some shit damaged, or like you could see where like the original tag was on the back where they done slapped the carbon over it. I'm like, oh, okay. So these really aren't our jeans. You guys are just buying these other jeans and slapping carbon on it and selling it. But like all the patterns and shit, you got to think like my town, when we got to Route 21, we're a Bible Belt, Southern Baptist Bible Belt.
Yeah.
So like
we're on the same
Route 21 shows up and it completely changed everything, because now everybody can wear patterns. Everybody can wear skulls and all this stuff.
They're mixing the fabrics, Joseph.
Constantly, you know what I mean? Because like it's right there in town. Otherwise, we would have to drive to the mall, which is like 2 towns over,
right,
to get that shit.
Yeah,
and that,
how big was the town you were in? Like how many people?
Oh man, I don't even know the population. I couldn't tell you. Hold on, I could tell you.
Like how many fast food restaurants do you have? That's also a good way of asking.
Oh my god, too fucking many.
Okay, so
like five pizza places.
It seems like your town was a little bigger than mine, because the point I was going to make, and it's not a big deal at all. I
think it is probably bigger than yours, because you talked about it, where yours is just like a shot through.
Yeah. There's like nothing. There's like one fast food place and like 3 convenience stores, and like that's what you do. But there is something about like the closest place I could get clothes or fast food, like I said, outside of a Sonic, was 30 or 45 minutes away, like choose the direction or whatever. And so like going to the mall on a weekend was like a crazy fucking deal, for me, it felt like. Or like if you just didn't have food, my mom's like, we literally, there is no food. So.
Oh, I was saying it. I mean, it was kind of the same for us too. Like going to Jackson and to the mall and shit like that. That was like a trip for us, because, and like even when we were younger, I said with my stepdad and all that, like they take us to the mall. That would be a big deal to us, because besides that, we were just pretty much isolated in town and never really did shit.
Right.
So, says census in 2020 was 8,171 people.
Okay. Yeah. So in the town I grew up in, there was like 2,500, but now it's, I think, even less. Like they've fallen off even more
Right,
so.
right.
And the town I live in now is like 20,000, I think. I never look it up, but that's always in my mind what it is.
And it was super small, like when I worked at Route 21, because I'd be at Route 21 and people would be like, oh, we didn't even know about this town. And then, they're coming to Route 21 shopping and stuff. And
I say most Route 21s where I was in Oklahoma are like in strip malls, or like a town that's big enough to have like a strip mall at the least. That's like the minimum.
Yeah, and it was like our first strip mall, and it was like right next to Walmart. So yeah, it made a difference for sure.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's play a song, and then we'll get back and we'll do another one of these things. Right. We're gonna go a song by me. I think I meant to send it to you and totally didn't. I might have. It's hard for me to remember.
Did you send anything?
Let's see. I totally might not have, but it is on Spotify and all the other streaming services. But anyway, the name of the song I'm going to go with, and I'll turn it up. You can hear it through the speakers at the least, I guess. Is going to be off of my album called Retrograde. And the name of the song is Another Bowl. And again, this is something I originally recorded back in my big year of 2009 back in college. Was like when I was really going hard, making mixtapes and shit. And so this was a favorite back then, and I kind of remade it. I don't know if I captured the vibes as well, honestly, this time. It was like, I just had them and I was like, let's just kind of make this work. So if I have to be honest, this is not one of my favorites, but I do think it works. So I don't know if that's going to affect people's thoughts of it one way or the other, but we will give it a listen.
My bungs got ice to the brim, like the bowl, then I pull the stem. I know, there goes another bowl. Still got ice in my bungs, still got smoke in my chest, still going through the bowls like this is the BCS. I guess that's all, but ain't nothing changed. Feel like I'm in the UFC, I'm taking hits to the brain. It's so hard to maintain a healthy state of mind. That's why I'm getting baked instead of getting fried. Can't match my stride, so why would you try? They saying Mo is that guy because I'm always getting high. I know, but bro, it's just a mess like Joe Biden. I keep it on because with me really hope there is no smiling. I hate on my own tracks, but I really can't comply it. I yell at these dumb fucks wives, I think I might pipe it. I smoke down in my lungs, I'm wildin' cause it's fun. I'm trying to make myself go dumb till I start speaking in tongues. I know, I'm fucking cold. I'm taking bong rips before I have to flow, like I know. My bongs got ice to the brim, like the bowl, then I pull the stem. I know, there goes another bowl. My bongs got ice to the brim, like the bowl, then I pull the stem. I know, there goes another bowl. Self-medication for the anxiety patient. My flow is so blessed, somebody gotta ordain it. I got no patience and I'm tired of waiting. And I keep my eyes redder than the dick of Satan. But I don't know why, I guess I feel I gotta stay high. And if you wanna hate though, you can fucking die, it's like a true story. I do not give a fuck about anybody else. In case you ever had any doubt, you find me joining my mouth. I just be chilling in the clouds when the raps come out. Man, they start forming crowds when the crowd's too loud. I have to fucking shout. I tell them get out of my head before I knock them out. Then it's do his rip quick to quiet the voices. Too lit to trip and I kinda enjoy this. This the shit that happen when you leave me no choices. Grab a mic and start rapping, then I try to destroy you. But my bongs got ice to the brim, like the bowl, then I pull the stem. I know, there goes another bowl. My bongs got ice to the brim, like the bowl, then I pull the stem. I know, there goes another bowl.
Nice.
Yeah, that's me, hey the Mo, another ball.
I dug that. Like, I hadn't heard that yet because I hadn't heard all of Retrograde, but
Right. Yeah, it's at the end. And honestly, I shouldn't have talked down on it. It is pretty good. Just sometimes you have those songs in your head where like, yeah, I don't know if that one's that good. Then you hear it and you're like, oh no, I kind of killed it in its own way.
Well, like we were talking about how I was talking about Better Than One. And like to me, those songs, I really do like my Better Than One songs, even though they are like they're all from that 08, 09 era. Like they're from my mixtapes or whatever.
Right.
And like one of the songs on there was Another. And but like then when that dude did the breakdown of them, when I had that review done, like I was listening to it and I was like, man, like this is so not me now. You know what I mean? Like I'm listening to the lyrics and everything and I'm like, it just sounded like something completely different. And I mean, the fact that he was able to kind of like turn it into a story, even though that wasn't my idea, but like, when he reviewed it, he was kind of like, okay, I kind of see the journey we're going on here and And I'm like, okay, well, he kind of saved it for me because otherwise it just sounds like a bunch of trash talk. But I mean,
yeah, and I'll say
I don't know.
For that song in particular, I do think the hook, I think I do a good job because I think these days I'm better at like not better at, but I can just be like, oh, we're going for this emotion, and I'll try to do like a whatever voice to make that. And I think my ad libs are really good in that or whatever. But the verses do feel like, oh, that was written by me 15 years ago. You know, I mean, like, it just that's how it sounds to me. Because I'm like, oh, I wouldn't. I mean, I mentioned the fucking BCS, which hasn't existed in college football in fucking a decade or whatever. You know.
Well, yeah, and you know, you can kind of tell that now, like in music, like a lot of rappers, you can tell, like, even though they say that music's timeless, we can listen to rappers and we're listening to their lines and shit. And when they mention something from a point in period in time,
right,
that's so specific, you're like, okay, they had to have wrote it around this time. Like, you know, mentioning, I don't know, like one of the shows that was on VH1 or some shit like that, you know, something real obscure.
Well, and that's like, I was going to say, it reminds me, Lil Wayne has a song where he's like, you know, I'm getting paper like Michael Scott or something to that extent. And maybe other rappers have it as well. But like, luckily, The Office is like a top 10 comedy of all time. You know, like, so it'll be relevant. But yeah, if he would have just mentioned a different show that wasn't as popular, didn't stand the test of time or whatever, then you'd be like, what the fuck?
Right, because I think what was it on the Monster? Like he mentioned Jeff Vondren or some shit or whatever. He's like, and he's talking about he's talking about intervention. Like, I guess it was like one of those intervention shows, but I never watched it.
To be honest, I'll be honest, I also have bad rappers. I have a song, and I did it just for Powwow because me and Powwow both like guilty pleasure watch the Forged in Fire show. You know, like they make the knives, and so I have a song where I'm like, my flow's forged in fire, it will kill. Because that's like the catchphrase from the show. The guy's like, it will kill after he stabs the fucking thing. And I'm like, I know Powwow would get that. And so I wrote it. But that's like for one person. You know what I mean? I'm like, no one else will get it. Who cares?
Right. That's like, you know, what was one line I had it? Kenny Powers flow, you're fucking out, I swear on the mound.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, I mean, not everybody's going to get that because not everybody watched Eastbound and Down. But I mean, which
is crazy. Yeah, it's a top 5 for me. I think it's I think I'm putting it number 5, my 5th favorite TV show. I've been thinking about my list lately for no reason.
Did you put Eastbound and Down above Gemstones?
Yeah, definitely.
What about Vice Principals?
I think Vice Principals is better than Gemstones. Personally.
Okay, so we go Gemstones, Vice Principals, Eastbound.
Yeah, and I loved. I think Gemstones has something kind of working against it. Like the premise is so perfect for like me that I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna be so good. And it was good, but every season I felt like they could have been better. I don't know. I felt like they left a little on the table all the time. And the ending was horrible.
The ending ruined it for me. I love the scene with Sean William Scott. Like
that's the best. Yeah, that was the only good part for sure.
That whole scene was fucking nuts.
And I think,
I'm like thinking, how the fuck are they gonna end this?
Was it Michael Rooker that played his dad? And I thought his like when his big scene also was good, but I do think that whole last season should just not have existed. They should have just ended after the previous season. Is my take. Even though we did get we got a Teen Gist actually, so I guess it's all worth it for Teen Gist.
Teen Gist. Teen Gist, whatever. Man, that shit was it was wild. It was really wild.
Yeah, Walton Goggins is the man. I'm excited for Fallout Season 2's coming out soon. I'm gonna have to watch that with him in it. Something we were going to talk about, and I'll briefly cover, but we don't have to spend much time because it's still developing by a lot. But Warner Brothers, speaking of HBO here, is getting sold to rather Netflix or Paramount. Comcast was also in the deal, but they're out now at the moment. Netflix made an official offer that like Paramount was going to accept, or I'm sorry, that Universal, whoever the fuck owns HBO, Warner Brothers, would be accepting. And so that comes out, but then Paramount's like, actually, we will offer way more money and try to do like a whatever it's where they overtake through stocks. I can't remember what the fucking term is at the moment. And then they like go straight to the stockholders to try to buy it out. Now, in the back end, politically or whatever, I guess I am somewhat rooting for Netflix out of the two because Netflix says they're going to keep the theatrical studio side open and then they will like keep doing that. Whereas in Paramount would be absorbing it. They would still be doing it, but that's one less like movie studio, I guess. But but then when I started thinking as a user, I would actually rather Paramount have the HBO stuff because I have Paramount. I have all this stuff. I spend too much money on it.
But I have Paramount and I have HBO Max. Like I have both of those, but
They do
I
seem to
get
fit
HBO.
better together. I do think in some way. Now, I think the reason why I say the politics part is like the guy that owns Paramount now has some ties to the Trump administration. So people are trying to be like, actually, this is all corrupt Trump shit. And I'm like, I don't know anything about, I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Like, I just don't know about that side of it. But as far as like putting HBO and Paramount together, it does seem to fit. They already have the Showtime stuff. It can kind of slide around. I don't know. It makes sense to me.
I don't know. HBO Max, if HBO Max can't get the rights to Tales from the Crypt, they shouldn't even be there. I'm just saying. Like, that's just how I feel in my soul.
Everyone's got the, like, if I mean, HBO is my all-time favorite channel, I mean, it's got the pedigree. It's got like, if you had to choose one channel shows, like it has the most good ones or whatever over the years, but they have fallen off after Discovery bought them. So someone else does need them. Now I'm a little worried because Netflix said they don't care at all about the Warner Brothers video game sector. And I'm like, well, hold on. My wife loves this goddamn Hogwarts Legacy game. And if it doesn't get a sequel, she's going to be so mad. So anyway, we'll see what happens here.
Well, then like when HBO Max came out, that was one of their big selling points was, hey, we've got the whole Harry Potter collection. And then, of course, at that time, it was they had all of South Park, too. They had all the seasons of South Park.
Yeah.
And then that got really messy with the Paramount deal that they did on the side.
Yeah, South Park, I get it. They've been fucking over, Comedy Central for years, and that's part of what Comedy Central had a time with Paramount and all that stuff. But yeah, it would be cool if they just could sign one deal and get it all in one place, I'm sure.
I think that was originally the plan. That's what they were saying, is that HBO was expecting to get all these specials that they did for Paramount. Instead, I'm saying, like, they were going to get those specials for HBO, but then instead they did the specials for Paramount and then kept doing the episodes for HBO.
Earlier, Forgotten actually also mentioned South Park, how he's watched the new season. I watched the first couple episodes and I kind of forgot about it because there was like that hiatus for a couple weeks and I just forgot. And I've seen online people love it and I've seen people hate it, but you're a big South Park fan. So what is your opinion on their more political based episodes? I would say
I really love the whole he's fucking Satan. I love that whole joke. And I also love the whole joke with the dude from the FCC or whatever. Like, that joke was really funny to me. Right. Or dude kept like getting fucked over, like he kept falling in all the booby traps instead of Satan. I thought that was pretty funny. And then by the end,
you mentioned the same part, that first premiere episode, I was dying laughing. And this is to me what a good comedy is, I guess. I like world building necessarily more than the literal jokes, I guess. But as soon as it opened up and it was Satan and it was Trump in the style of Saddam Hussein from the movie. Yeah. Like, just without him any saying a word, just that premise, just seeing that screenshot, I'm like, this is so fucking funny. And my wife's like, and I was like, I don't know if you quite understand why this is so funny. And I had to like sit it, like pause and explain it all to her. And she was like, okay, yeah, I get it. And I'm like, I don't know if you do. Like, I was being like a douchebag about it. But yeah, it was great. I will say, because I said when South Park, but South Park's always been political, in some way. Because I identify more as a libertarian type, and they do as well, the creators. I just like it when they kind of take shots at everyone. And I do feel like they have a little bit of the Trump derangement syndrome where they're a little obsessed with this one guy. Now, the argument here would be like, how could you not bring it up? He's fucking, he's a walking comedy goldmine. How are you not going to do this? But I do think something about it has made it not as good, right? Like, whenever it's like the whole thing is focused on this one thing. I don't know. They changed it a little bit, I would say.
The stuff with the chick shooting the dogs was a little...
Right, and that's a fun joke, I guess. And to me, I guess I saw that one very similar to the Kanye West, do you like fish sticks? It's very similar, right? It's like, here's this one joke, we're going to beat it over the head the whole episode.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the vibe.
Calling it a run on or whatever, but like the whole thing is just like, but they'll take those jokes and they'll run them through, multiple seasons. Right. And, and then they'll just keep bringing them back. And I don't know, like, I guess we'll just have to see what they do next, because I miss that absurd. I miss those absurd episodes where like you just had no idea where the shit was going.
Well, I also kind of liked it when like it had a point at the end that kind of wrapped it up and it was like, oh, that could touch of this. But I liked a good Butters episode. Butters is my favorite. Where it's like the joke is how sweet and innocent this kid, you know what I mean? Like where it wasn't always about like what's the current event thing happening. And I think they got really suckered into that because they like, we do it within 6 days and we can do that, which is cool, but it doesn't, you don't need it every week, I guess. My thought. All right. Our last thing we will quickly touch on is you brought up Eminem. I know you're a fan. I don't know if you consider yourself a stan. I don't know how that goes in Eminem fandom world. I don't know if it's like a compliment or a bad thing to be a stan, but because you would assume a bad thing because the fucking, you know, the man Stan in the song Stan kind of seems like a villain in some way, but then they make a documentary called Stans where I think it is portrayed in a good way. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if a Stan's good or not. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I do get that. I tried to watch the documentary. I fell asleep, but
I imagine.
yeah, it didn't really keep me into. But
I have this DVD here, and I know you're a big DVD collector.
I had that on VHS.
So I watched it already. If you want it, I'll send it to you. I know you're a big fan.
Oh, yeah.
People know it's the Up and Smoke tour. I got it for like $2. I was like, well, I have to get that and at least watch it once. And it's fun seeing the like chicks showing their tits at the concert in the 90s. You know, like there's something about that that's fun.
I bought that. Well, my stepmom bought that for me. She bought that and the VHS that came out right after Stan came out. The VHS that has the green E on it.
Right.
And it was all of Eminem's videos up until Stan.
That's cool.
And that was just it. You know what I'm saying? There might have been something else on there. I can't remember. Maybe Fight Music. I think Fight Music might have been on there. Or somewhere around there. I can't remember.
Right.
But yeah, I had that VHS, you know. Like I was a huge Eminem fan in the beginning, you know, and you know, I can sit there and say we had similar like raisings, the way that we came up, because I was nerdy, I was bullied, you know, all that. So like I get it, you know, and I got it back then. And it wasn't so much about like, it wasn't so much about the rap side of it, but I was already listening to rap music before Eminem even came out.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Me too.
I
thought Eminem was like a 9 Inch Nails type thing, or like a Corn type thing. Like whenever I just saw him, because I remember we have this thing called the Warwick Rattlesnake Hunt where I'm from, and it's like a carnival on the fucking middle of the main street or whatever. They catch all these rattlesnakes, like a 3-day event, makes a bunch of money for the fire department. And in that, you have like a little carnival booth game where you throw fucking darts at a balloon and then you win a fucking picture. Now, mainly, I got all the pictures of chicks in bikinis, and it'd be like dangerous curves or whatever, and it'd be like some hot chick in a bikini or whatever. And like my whole room's just like fucking shit for me to goon to. But I had some friend, I can't remember who it was, but they got the Eminem with the mask and the coveralls and the chainsaw. And so like that was the first time I saw him, and I was like, oh, it must be like Corn. That was exactly what I thought. And I never really heard it. And then I'm sure I heard My Name Is or something and was like, oh, this is pretty cool. But the thing that really turned me on to him, and Brad, I always have to ask Brad what it was because I can never remember the name of it, but I think I just pull up here. But I heard him do The Way I Am on Farm Club that came on.
Yeah. I remember Farm Club.
It was before Spike, but it was called TNN or between one of those, whatever it was. Farm Club would come on like Saturday nights or something. And yeah, I saw him perform that and I was like, oh, this dude's fucking awesome. And The Way I Am is probably still my favorite Eminem song, which is so funny.
For us, Farm Club came on right after WWF.
Oh, okay. That might have been what happened.
Yeah, we would watch Raw, and then like right after Raw, Farm Club would be on the same channel on USA.
Okay.
So
it totally could have been. I just remember watching it at my grandma's house, and I stayed the night at her house every Saturday night. And so I just remember watching it there, but it totally could have came on to wrestling, after wrestling too. I could be misremembering it. But you have a good conspiracy, if you will, about Eminem, and then I want to tie it to a classic rock star conspiracy to wrap it up here. So I don't know if it's you think Eminem's a clone, if he's dead. What is other people dead? Just lay it out to me. I'm fascinated.
I do think they killed the first one, but that's besides. Like, okay, I actually have a different conspiracy that I want to bring up, and this was the point I wanted to make. So I'm gonna try to like explain it real quick. So
yeah.
Okay, you mentioned Stan, right? So then we all remember Elton John and Eminem performance on the Grammys.
Yeah.
So Okay, then the week after that, Saturday Night Live ran a spoof of it during their Weekend Update special, or, during their Weekend Update segment that they do every week on the show. So, and it was a segment where they basically did a whole recreation of the performance. Horatio Sands is playing Elton John, and Chris Parnell is playing Eminem, right? And then by the end of the clip, they're making out and they're rolling around on the floor, kissing each other's ass. So, anyways, it's something that struck me, and I was like, you know what? I want to see that clip because I haven't seen it, and I don't ever remember watching it actually on Saturday Night Live because you never knew what they were going to spoof, right? But it happened the very next week, so they're like, oh, well, last week, Elton John and Eminem performed at the Grammys and da-da-da-da-da. So, anyways, I go to look it up, and the only thing I was able to find was like an image from it that Getty Images owned. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, okay, this is the only thing I can find on this. So then I'm like, okay, well, I have Peacock. I'm like, I can just go to Peacock and go look up Saturday Night Live and go find the episode.
Right.
They said, it's the episode where Katie Holmes hosts and Dave Matthews Band is the special guest, the performance. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll go look it up. So I'm watching this Weekend Update segment. And I'm watching all the little clips, and then it gets all the way to the end. And then Tina says, and now Jimmy wants to say something. And so then like a flash happens. And then you just see them both laughing. And they're like, all right, that's Weekend Update. And they throw the pencil.
Was there music? Was there like Elton John music in that original clip? Like I could see them arguing that it'd be like they have to pull it because of the copyright music or, some shit.
It's funny because Horatio's portrayal of Elton John is actually better than the performance Elton John gave at the Grammys.
Right.
But what's funny about the clip is that he's doing, like when you're watching it on the Grammys, you see like, let's see if I can put my hands all the way down, and I'm like moving my hands up and down, and it looks like I'm playing the piano, but I'm really not, right? But then, like this, he's like tapping on the table, and they have the camera shot just right where you can see it, where he's just all he's doing is tapping his hands.
Right. It's like really lip syncing, but pianos. Yeah. Ghost playing, if you will.
Showing how ridiculous it is. So, but like I said, anybody who has Peacock can go there and they can go look for that episode and then go watch it, and you'll see the flash.
Well, all right. So
right there.
What is the conspiracy tied to? So your conspiracy is just that they remove that from the episode? Or is there tied to something deeper?
I believe, because it's actually deeper, because if you watch all those clips in that Weekend Update segment, they're all callbacks. Well, not callbacks, they're call-ups necessarily to the We Made You video. Like, they have the Sarah Palin impersonator in there. They have, they talk about the wine glasses. There's a lot of different things. Milo, hush now. There's a lot of different things that they mention in there, and then even there's like a small dick joke in the Weekend Update segment. So that's Peacock.
Obviously.
Yeah, and you got to think like Peacock wasn't even a thing in 2001. So
no, it was. I mean, the NBC logo has always been a peacock.
Well, yeah, it's always been a peacock, but you didn't know that. I mean, I'm saying in 2001, you didn't know that they were going to have a streaming service called Peacock.
I would argue that the channel NBC was called the Peacock before the streaming service, but that's also to more people that are like just really into TV stuff, I guess. But anyway, not a big deal. Not a big deal.
But I think this is what I believe. I believe that the person playing Elton John on that stage is not Elton John, but it's the founder of GLAAD.
What's GLAAD?
The Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation.
Okay.
So, like, there's the Ultimate Albums episode of the Marshall Mathers LP.
I thought you were going to say the Gay and Lesbians Against Drunk Driving, just so you know, because there's a MAD, which is the Mothers Against Drunk Driving. So I was really curious how that was where you were going. I was like, what is he about to say? But it totally makes sense. I get what you're saying.
But no, GLAAD was part of the. Well, you remember, like, that was the whole thing, right? It was a whole media circus when the Grammys happened. Like,
I mean, yes, I do remember in that time, but we all said gay all the time. So, like, No one was really doing anything. I think Eminem has always done publicity stunts, and it's all part of it. It's just like when Sacha Baron Cohen put his ass in his face and Eminem stormed out of the view. Like, Eminem's always been an actor. And the thing is, he's so good at it. He's such a good actor in 8 Mile. I understand he's playing himself, but he like kills it, and he's pretty good in other stuff he's in. So like, I think it's just like a Drake scenario where it's like, we just thought he was a certain person, and it turned out maybe he wasn't. He changed over time, and he's just good at acting. He played the role. That's kind of the way I've come out of it a little bit. My thoughts on him.
Yeah, and I mean, he has done a lot of acting in different scenes and stuff, and like funny people. He can carry the scene. He can carry a scene all the way through.
He's in like the worst season of Entourage, and a lot of Entourage fans hate him, but he's good in it.
Where he hits dude.
Yeah,
he hits dude in the club or whatever. I remember that. That was around the recovery time.
Yeah. And I think, Vince makes fun of his new music, and then Eminem punches him. But they're both trying to fuck Sasha Grey or something like that, whatever the fuck the storyline was. But yeah, now I know you had, and you didn't get into a lot, but a little bit of the whole, like, if you said something like if Eminem was killed, replaced, maybe he is with this great actor, whatever. I do think, I don't know when that would have happened. I guess maybe when he was on a hiatus forever or something. And some part of me feels like bad, because it's like, well, maybe he really did just get clean from drugs, and that's why he looks different. But he does look somewhat different. But there's this old school conspiracy I love about Paul McCartney and the Beatles, where he died early on, like after the first album. And then they replaced him with this guy, and I wish I could remember his name. It's something Shears or something, whatever it is. And like, they have him on camera many times over the years. Like, well, someone will call him that other name, and he like responds to it. And then it's like, if you look after the certain date, he looks this way, and before this date, he looks this way. And it's like, people now are like, no, that can never be. But it's because they saw this one guy portray him for 30 years. So to him, that is him. Like, he just stepped into the role of Paul McCartney. And then that's like why Paul and John didn't get along later, is because it really wasn't Paul. Like, I'm not a huge Beatles guy, but this is a fun conspiracy. And I could see the whole, like, Eminem was the meal ticket. They brought in a white guy who looked real close and get close to it, and then D12 helped him. But then Proof was like, I don't know, I don't like this shit. Like, you could sell me on like some version of that.
I do believe that's what I believe is. I believe there was something going on as far as like, and like you said, to keep the money rolling in, because okay, look, we know that Eminem was never doing like, he never really did like product placement before the recovery situation or whatever. Like, he never really did like product placement. But during recovery, if you notice, they were doing it in such a slick way that you couldn't realize it, because he would do interviews about the getting clean, but they do the interviews at like his oh shit.
You mentioned this interview is a perfect thing. Me, my wife, and Powwow, but before my wife was my wife, she's my girlfriend in college. We went to Branson, which is like this place Missouri people go to. It's for country music lovers or whatever. But my parents had a cabin there for a week and on vacation. So we went up there for a few days and fished or whatever. But one of the nights we were there was when Eminem done the 60-minute interview when he was doing it for recovery. And it's the interview where he's like, all kinds of things rhyme with orange, and then he like rhymes with orange or whatever. And I remember sitting and watching that and telling Powwow, like, this doesn't seem like Eminem. Like, everything about it. So I will back you up on that one part. The first time I saw him after his big hiatus, I was like, he's different. I don't know.
He endorses fountain drinks. And he also endorses sugar-free Red Bull. That was like his whole thing during the recovery time, was he was endorsing sugar-free Red Bull.
Okay.
Like,
I hate Red Bull.
It'd be like in a slick way, not necessarily like drink sugar-free Red Bull. It'd just be like, oh, I've got to drink sugar-free Red Bull. It has to be sugar-free. Otherwise, like, did you ever watch that movie, The Greatest Movie Ever Sold, with Morgan Spurlock?
Oh, yeah. I actually did. I did see that. I watched a lot of Morgan Spurlock stuff back in the day.
They got that one scene where they go to like, I think they go like Japan or some shit, and they have that visualizer or whatever that they can put on your head and basically just run like a fucking 1,000 clips in a matter of seconds. And then as soon as he took it off, we're like, well, what do you want right now? And he's like, I want a Coke. Like, why do you want a Coke? He's like, I don't know. I just know it. And then they show him, they're like, oh yeah, there's like little clips of Coke in there to You know what I'm saying?
Subliminal messaging, because that's basically what that is, is like
Right.
stuff I think as 90s kids. I mean, we were born in the late 80s, or I was. I'm assuming you were, because our ages are
Yeah,
close.
late 80s.
But growing up in the 90s, like, like that Saved by the Bell episode where it's like they put the messages in the music to convince the girls to fall in love with, or whatever the fuck the premise was. And there was always this idea like you could sneak subliminal messages into songs and TV. And it's like that is something that was always around, but no one says it now. And it's like, did it die off because it was real and they were like, quit talking about it? Like, that is fun idea.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like subliminals are in a lot of music. Like, it's hard to figure it out, obviously, but like, okay.
That's why I keep smoking weed and liking boobs. The music makes me.
When I went to I want to say, which one was it? The second hospital visit I went to, they had a woman come in and she was playing acoustic guitar. And I'm sitting in there with everybody and like all these songs, and these are all songs that I know. Like, I want to say one of the songs was Beautiful Just the Way You Are by Bruno Mars.
Right.
But like when I was sitting in there and I'm listening to this woman play these songs on the acoustic guitar, it was like I was experiencing the song in a different way than I had before. Like, it was really weird to me. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd had a voice in my head the night before, and I was
saying, it's probably because you
just
all your senses were getting no reaction, in a sort of solitary environment, and then all of a sudden it's like senses overload or something.
Everything felt subliminal in the whole building. Like when I was in there, it's like everything somebody would say, it just sounded subliminal to me. Like it was very awkward and uncomfortable, but. Which I had a complete mental breakdown. So like it just changed how I looked at everything. And
yeah, I'm sure. I have a friend who went through a similar thing like you. I don't know if it was ever like he went and got help or went to a place, but one of my good friends growing up, his family, it like runs through his family or whatever. And so there are things you have said to me that remind me of things he would have said, when we were younger. And so every time I was like, I am familiar with this stuff, but, I'm glad you seem to be doing well, because I had just learned recently this guy thinks in jail and has been for however many years. And I was like, oh shit, I had no idea. And so I'm sure it is tough keeping it together sometimes,
It is. It was back then anyways. I mean, I was taking medicine up until about, I guess, middle of 2021. And then I got off of it, like, slowly, and then because it was numbing my senses. It was really dulling my senses to the point where I just wasn't able to enjoy things.
I want everyone real quick to remember what he's saying right now, because we have this song in the ready for my next album that's so good. It's probably mine and H2's best song that we've had together, and he mentions all this stuff. So y'all just remember now for when that song comes
totally forgot that that's what I mentioned too. Yeah. I was just like, I forgot. Like, I wasn't even like trying to plug it.
Yeah.
But
it just popped in my head as you said it. I was like, ooh.
And I love those verses. I play them in the car constantly. I put, like when I get my shit, like when I get so many songs put together, I'll make like a little CD and then play them in the car. I love car testing everything like that.
Me too.
Like that's how but you know what? And to be fair, it was an Eminem thing, because I bought what was it? Scratch Magazine. I bought Scratch Magazine when he was on the cover of it, and they talked to him about producing. And this was way before, of course, the relapse shit and all that. And they were talking to him about producing, and that's what he said, is that he tested every track in the car. But he said it then because he said most of my fans don't have a system in their car.
Oh, yeah. Plug all your shit where people can listen to you and all that. Make sure you get that out of here.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can check out Flatliner Music on all those different areas as far as like YouTube and Spotify. And then, of course, the It's Your Boy H2 profile. But, like I said, you can go to a Flatliner Music profile and then everything just connects anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Actually, and just saying it, just bringing it up, I just checked our website. You can go to flatlinermusic.net. Over this last month, we've had over 787 visitors. So
nice.
That's pretty cool. Like, it's really cool to me. I actually had like a little moment there when I saw it earlier, because I was just like, what the fuck? Like, because it went from just being, 10 visitors to 787. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, because I don't I haven't been able to put any kind of money into promoting the website.
Well, then also it's so hard to know even where to put money into promoting because so much of it's scammy as shit. And it's like
exactly.
it's just yeah.
I mean, I'm using TikTok. Like I'll promote a clip with TikTok, but I'll promote a clip with Facebook too. But that's like as far as I'll go. Like, and then I'm like looking at it as far as like, usually there's a song attached to the video clip. So if you promote the video clip, you're not only going to promote the video clip, but you're also going to promote the song. So you're killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
So
love to get two birds stoned at once.
Right. Yeah. So, and I mean, I like TikTok's promotion, but then a lot of that shit, you know, it seems kind of iffy sometimes.
Right.
But, you know, I try to get it to where it's just like, you know, if you do, I try to get followers. But then I'm also like, if you do video views, usually followers come with it. So, you know, people will end up following you. I mean, you're not going to get like a flood of people, but, you know, but you promote just to, you know, because they're going to show it to everybody. And with TikTok, though, the thing about TikTok is they kind of force people to watch videos. That's the only thing. It's like, because, you know, the video pops up without you even clicking. But I kind of like Facebook's promotion better.
See, I don't share anything on Facebook, but it's just because like real life people are there, and so like I don't want to share my shit with those people, and so like it has made me kind of cut out that whole end. So like I don't share any of my music typically on Facebook or podcasts or any anymore, and so I kind of just cut all that out. But it is probably better because like real life people are the ones that are like, sure, I'll give this a listen, but I would rather build it like organically on the internet, you know, in some way. And
I really wanted to do that. Like I said, I launched my first Flatliner music website in 2014. It was the .com, and I pushed that all the way up until 2021. And then, like I told you, out of nowhere, the website left.
Right.
And then I tried to email the people that had, you know, that I was paying to put on the website, and they never emailed me back. So like, I didn't know really what the fuck to do, but we had like over 3 million hits on that site, which we had a counter, you know, on there.
Old
so
school.
You could see, so you could see the numbers. You can't see
built
it
on
with
GeoCities. That was when I made my first website. Shout out GeoCities if y'all remember that on Yahoo back in the day. Like
I do remember that. I didn't use it, but I remember it. And
I made my own porn site, and some of my friends from junior high will be like, remember when you made that porn site? They like won't let me live it down. And I'm like, I was helping you out. I was putting the porn on the thing for y'all. I was being for the boys. Fucking ungrateful assholes. All right, my fucking shit's telling me we're having a weak, stable internet, but you know what? We're about out of time anyway, so it's perfect.
Right.
So everyone check out Flatliner Music on all the streaming sites, or it's your boy H2 also on the things, and he's putting out albums all the time, and he will be on whatever one I put out eventually.
I appreciate you having me on, man. Shout out Snappy, shout out Skinny, shout out all of them. You know, much love to everybody.
That's right. And then also, hopefully, we reach out to Soko. You know, we found him finally after him being lost for weeks, and so we'll see. We'll try to get him back around.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. That was weird.
Yeah, it was Twitter done this like your chats are now encrypted, but they encrypted his like a month before us. So he was like in this other version of Twitter where like none of his messages would come through to us. And then as soon as we all updated, we all joined him in the future.
Right. Remember, we were in that chat and I told you my messages weren't going through. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I had to go jump on my computer to send the messages. I was like, what the hell is going on? It didn't make any sense. But
yeah, and if I would have got on a computer, maybe I would have got Soka's. Now I think about it. But anyway, it's solved now.
All right, bro.
It's solved. But all right, peace, bro. Appreciate you being on. And
being on, man.
All right, man.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Peace. All right, now we're gonna end here on a beat of mine. Let's see if I can find it. All right, this is another one off of a potential. I may release an instrumental EP someday, but right now I'm just playing with the end of this podcast to see if the copyrights, you know, get the samples. That is more or less what's going on. So let us give this shit a listen. And appreciate all my people calling in. And we'll be back next week with a Christmas episode is the plan.